Good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending the webinar today at Katoomba University. Today we've got Malcolm Gibbons from the Salon Marketing Coach, and he's going to talk to us about 3 key marketing tricks. Thanks, Malcolm.
Cool, thanks Ray. Hi everyone, welcome along to this morning's session. As Ray said, we've only got half an hour, and that flies by when you're talking about marketing. There's no way that we can cover the whole marketing gambit in half an hour, so I'm going to give you the 3 key marketing tricks that can help guarantee you get the results that you want and actually maximize or help maximize your marketing spend. So let's get underway. Have you got pen and paper ready, everyone, just to make some notes that you might want to make? If not, grab some now. Hopefully you'll get some good ideas to jot down to work on. Just while you're doing that, a little bit about me for those who don't know me. I'm a salon specialist business coach, and I love helping salon owners grow their businesses. And I kind of got an outstandingly uncomplicated way of doing just that. I've been in the hair and beauty industry for a wee while now, about 30 odd years. In fact, it's probably closer to 35 years, but I don't try and say that out loud too much. And quite seriously, I'm as excited today as I was when I first got involved in the industry all those years ago. I love the changes and challenges that hairdressers and salon owners go through every day, and being creative people is just a fun industry to be in. I've worked on most sides of the industry. I was a rep for a supply company. I've owned my own salons, and I've grown them by over 400% whilst owning them. And I've also been involved in and owned an IT company along the way. Done my MBA to make sense of it and formalize my business learnings. And within the last 9 years, I've been helping salon owners just like you to make a hell of a lot more sense of what you need to do to create a successful business. So all in all, a good well-rounded experience in many aspects of the industry, of which some of that I hope to share with you today that can help you with your marketing. So let's just crack on and get right into key number 1. Like I've said, I'm going to cover the three important keys. It's not the 3. There are a lot of important keys, but 3 today that I want to cover with you. And before I do that, I want to tell you a little story. I was in Christchurch a couple of months ago doing what I call my quarter club meetings with a group of salon owners. And the topic of marketing came up. And I asked the group who came along, I asked them, who's doing some marketing or advertising right now? And the only ones that actually put their hands up were my salon intensive clients, so my one-on-one clients that I work with on a weekly or fortnightly basis. And so that was interesting. So I asked the ones that were just at the quarter club why they weren't doing any marketing, and they almost in unison answered because it hasn't worked in the past and it was costing them money. So they stopped doing it because it didn't work and they didn't know what to do to make it work. So then I kind of explored that a little bit, and I asked them, are they getting the results they want in the salon? So in terms of extra service sales, new clients coming in, making more money, more profit. And of course, they said, no, they're not. So the problem was that they weren't doing anything to encourage any of that because they'd stopped any marketing because it didn't work and it cost them money. So let me tell you guys right now what I told them. 85% of any marketing that you do doesn't work. It doesn't work. Only about 15% of marketing works. The big problem is that we don't know the difference. And because 85% doesn't work, that's what we experience most of the time. So we give up. What we need to do is actually find the 15% that does work so that marketing's not a mystery. So I guess you might be asking right now, well, that's great, Malcolm, but how the heck do I do that? Well, I'm going to tell you 3 steps for you to start doing that to give it more of a chance of your marketing working. So We do that by planning our marketing in advance. Okay, so we plan our marketing and we don't do knee-jerk reactions, which is what I experience a lot working with salon owners, is that they go, oh, I'm really quiet, I better do some marketing, I better try and get some clients in. Did you know that the best time to market is when you're busiest? So don't do knee-jerk marketing, plan your marketing. And if you are doing knee-jerk marketing or no marketing at all, then you're setting yourself up for either low results or no results. I'd be interested to know, the people on the webinar today, who's guilty of doing that. Because in my experience, it's a lot of us. A lot of us are guilty of just marketing when we think we need to rather than when we should. So you've got to really know in advance what you're going to do to give your marketing a remote chance of working. Okay, do you get that? Don't just knee-jerk react, plan your marketing. Planning is crucial for a successful marketing campaign. So then the first question to ask yourself before deciding on anything else is why? Why are you marketing? And what result are you looking for from your marketing? Oops, let me just go back. Bumped my keyboard. So the question is now, why are you marketing? That's the next key. Well, why do we want to know that? Because until we know why, we can't work out the what or anything else. So why are you marketing? That will then lead you to what is the result that you want to achieve. There could be a number of reasons why. You know, you could be looking for new clients, or you could be marketing for extra services, to sell extra services to existing clients. Maybe you want some branding marketing going on, or making more people aware of your business. It could be that you're wanting to promote a particular operator to build them up. Whatever it is, the first step of successful marketing after planning is to determine the result you want from your marketing. In other words, why are you doing it? And a lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't actually figure out why we're wanting to do some marketing and what result we want to expect from that. So let's assume that you want new clients. Knowing that, you can then set about designing your campaign around getting that result. And now you've decided why I'm doing it is to get new clients. That leads to the what. And once you've created the what you're going to do to get new clients, or the idea around it, you then need to figure out, before you do anything else, is the who. You may have heard the term target market, and that's what we're talking about now, is who is your ideal customer, and where are they hiding? The number of salon owners that I talk to who, when I talk about marketing and I ask them, you know, who are they marketing, who are they target, you know, who's their target market? And they go, well, anyone that walks past the door. And the reality of that is that if you're aiming at anyone, you know, you're going to get anyone. You're better off building a solid foundation for the salon based on identifying who your typical customer or your ideal client is, and then you can tailor everything in the business to match and meet that person's expectations. And you can tailor your marketing pitch accordingly to that person and what they want, and more importantly, what they need. So before doing or organizing any marketing or promotion, you absolutely have to know who your ideal client is and what they're looking for. And as I said before, don't say anyone who walks past the door, because when you're not aiming at anyone in particular, that's exactly what you'll get, anyone in particular. So identify the who and tailor your marketing around where they are, what they like, and what their issues are. Then you'll get more bang for your marketing dollar, as opposed to aiming at nothing or no one and getting just that. So who are you selling your services and products to? And who do you want to sell them to? Are you wanting the young and hip people? Are you wanting students? Are you aiming at the middle-aged homemakers? Are you target semi or professional career people? So figure that out, because that's going to make a huge difference to how you actually present your marketing. I guess typical things that you need to consider when you think about your ideal client are, first and foremost, gender, age range, income range. What sort of magazines do they read? The typical TV shows they might watch, or movies they might go to. What radio stations do they listen to? Whereabouts are they? Are they local people, or do people come from further afield? Are you fishing in the right pond, like is your salon in amongst your ideal target market? What their education level is, what their occupation may be, and what interests do they have, what hobbies do they do, what's their lifestyle like, what sort of cafes do they go to, how do they dress, what's their style. And I guess a really, really important one that many of us actually forget is, do you like dealing with them? Are they the sort of people that you like working with and that you enjoy as customers? I work with salon owners that don't particularly like their clients. They're not satisfied with who they're attracting, but the only way that they can change that is by changing how they're marketing and how they're presenting their marketing to the people. And generally speaking, the people that aren't happy with their clients are people who don't know who they want as clients. So identify who your target market is, or your ideal client is, and then you can target with specific marketing to those people. So when you figure out that, you've just given your marketing a huge boost towards success. Once you know who, then you can design your marketing around attracting them. Hope this is making sense. So just moving right along, because as I say, as Ray said, we've only got half an hour and we're already 15 or so minutes in. So jumping right to the next key, and that's knowing exactly if what you are doing is working or not. Now, remember back to my story earlier, a lot of the people put their hand up and said they're not marketing because it wasn't working. And what they were doing was knee-jerk marketing and not really testing or measuring. And that's the next key point. John Wanamaker had said once that half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is I don't know which half. And if you actually think about that, we're probably all guilty of spending a lot of money on marketing and not really knowing whether it was an investment or an expense. And we don't know that because we haven't measured the results, and we probably didn't test the marketing in the first place. Like I said, the team in Christchurch had been doing it informally. They said it just hasn't worked, so we've stopped doing it. But that's informally. But measuring results formally will enable you to actually look at, did it work, and then look at maybe why it didn't work. So use it as a test. Test your marketing against KPIs that you may want to achieve, and then if it hasn't met your expectations, don't just go, well, it doesn't work, I won't do it. Look at why it hasn't worked. As a salon owner, you might not like measuring the results because it means that however small, maybe, or large, there's a chance that what you've been doing isn't working. In other words, it's possible that you'll discover that you've been spending money without seeing any returns. But my kind of thought around that is it's better to know what's working and what's not, rather than spending good money after bad, not knowing, or worse, stopping doing any marketing at all because it's been an expensive process. So if I can ask you to do one thing today, and that's to look at your marketing as an investment. An investment is something that you actually want to get a return on, or you expect to get a return on. Let's say that you've got $10,000 sitting around and you think, oh, I'm going to invest that in shares on the stock market. Do you research the companies beforehand? Do you research the stock market beforehand to make sure that you like what you see, that you feel comfortable with it, and that companies that have got good trading records? I mean, I'm sure you would. And you'd probably look back over time to see if the company that you might be looking at investing those shares in, to see if their share price has been rising or been staying the same or maybe falling backwards. Absolutely, you would. You would be doing a lot of research on that. And you might even sort of put a little smaller amount in, like you might buy 1,000 shares for a few months just to see what that 1,000 shares does before investing the bigger bucks, the bigger 10 grand. So you'd watch them and you'd measure their performance against the goal that you'd set for them, and then that would help you make the decision to reinvest or to invest more money with that company, or whether to sell and change to better options. But I bet you'd be absolutely measuring the results. Well, marketing is the same. You're investing money into a potential return, because if you're seeing marketing as an expense, you won't spend the money for very long. You'll stop spending it after a while because it's just costing you money. Whereas if you look at marketing as an investment and say, well, I do expect a return on that investment, and have a realistic expectation of what that investment might be. So you might be looking at spending, say, $500 on a marketing campaign. It may be through Google AdWords, or it may be through Facebook, or it may be an ad in the local paper. Whatever it might be, have a realistic expectation of what result you want to achieve from that ad. I remember, when I first bought our first salon, we could put an ad in the paper and we would get a great response, and we would have a return on our investment almost day one of the ad going out. Doesn't work like that today, does it? When was the last time anyone on this webinar put an ad in the local paper and got great, big, huge results from it? I would suspect not very often, if at all. However, there are marketing ways that you can get good results, but not spectacular results. And the type of marketing I'm talking about, the marketing that I'm asking you to test and measure, is going to show you what's working and what's not. And so when you do a campaign and it works and you get a good result, maybe not a spectacular result, but you get a good return on your marketing investment, then repeat and repeat and repeat, and testing or measuring and measuring and measuring. And as soon as you start seeing that particular campaign not working, stop doing it and test something else, because the market changes throughout time. What worked 5 years ago or what worked a year ago may not necessarily still work today. In fact, it probably won't. So marketing is also about testing and measuring. You need to test your strategies and the tactics that you use, and you need to measure their effectiveness against the KPIs that you may set for them. And as I said, it's a matter of doing what's working and do more of it, and stop what's not working and changing it until maybe it does work. Is this making sense? Just pop your hand up if this is making complete sense to you. Any hands going up, Ray?
Yeah, we've got a couple of hands going up.
Good. Oh, well, good. So it's making sense. Well, it's 20 past already. How quick did that go? For me, I hope it went as quick for you, because it meant you've been enjoying it. Let's just do a quick recap. There are 3 key elements to a successful marketing campaign. The first is, why are you doing it? What results do you want to achieve? So why are you marketing? Are you marketing to get new clients? Are you marketing to promote extra services to clients? Are you branding? Why? Once you know why, and that will help you with the what you're going to do, you then figure out who. Now, I say figure out who. I would like to think that everyone on this webinar and every salon owner out there would know exactly who they want to target as their ideal client. for everything that they're doing in the salon, not just marketing. But if you haven't quite figured out who your ideal client is, this is a great reason to do so. When you're thinking about doing some marketing, know who you are appealing to, who it is that you want as an ideal client, because then you can design the campaign around what they want and need. And the third key, and as important as any other key, is testing and measuring. Don't just willy-nilly market in the hope that something might work. You need to work at it. You need to test it first. If you're thinking about creating 10,000 flyers to go into the local letterboxes, maybe do 500 first and deliver them to key letterboxes around the area and test the results for those, measure them when they come in. So out of 500, you might get, say, make it easy for me, 5. So that's a 10% return. So you could almost then say, well, 5 out of 500 is 10%. Sorry, it's not, it's 1%. Is that worth me spending a lot of money to get 10,000 flyers delivered around the area? Well, 1% is not a bad return. I would probably want a little higher. So maybe I'd look at the campaign that I did and say, was it really designed to appeal to the local people around my salon? Was it designed to fit my target client, or could I make it better? But surely $500 spend instead of a $5,000 spend is the way to go to test the market first. The same with Facebook. A lot of people are asking me about Google AdWords. Should I do Google AdWords? Well, yes, you should. You should give them a try, but don't just go and sign up for 12 months and do 12 months worth of willy-nilly Google AdWords. Test it first. Do some testing, see if it works for you, and then look at why it may not work if it hasn't, and look at why it might be working if it does, so that you know exactly to prepare and plan for your next campaign. So testing and measuring is really, really important to get a return on your investment rather than it just being an expense. So that's about it from me today. As Ray said earlier, I'm happy to answer any questions if there's anything come up. And also, I know a lot of times when you're listening to something like this, that once you hang up and you go off, 5 minutes later, you think, oh gosh, I should have asked that question. Look, if you do experience that and you want to ask me a question, I'm happy for you to either contact Ray and he can flick me the question through, or you can email me directly at malcolm@salonbusinesscoach.com. And just ask me, and I'm happy to get back to you with an answer. But in the meantime, are there any questions there, Ray, from any of the attendees today?
If anyone has any questions, they can type them into the chat window in the webinar interface, or you can put your hand up and I'll unmute you. So if you have a question, type it in or throw your hand up. Doesn't look like we're having any questions today, Malcolm. I think you were pretty clear in your delivery of your 3 key tricks, and
that's good.
I think it all makes sense.
All right. Well, if anyone has got any questions, as I say, afterwards, and you're busy in your day and you think, oh gosh, I should have asked that, you can just contact me. My email address is up there on the screen, or Ray, and he can flick the messages through to me or the questions through, and I can answer them for you over the next few days or whenever that might be happening. But thanks for listening, everyone. I hope I've given you new hope for your salon marketing. And until next time, enjoy your work and have fun when you play. Back to you, Ray.
Thanks, Malcolm. And thank you all for attending. I hope you all have a great Monday. And I hope you do too, Malcolm.
Cool. Thanks, Ray. And catch you later, everyone.
Catch you next time.